that, get that, get that Joon, got the Joon, get that, get that, get that Joon, got the Joon, get that, get that.
What is going on YouTube? Joon and I'm back again with another Idle Heroes video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Vanquisher and how to clear one planet with your stereotypical team, what you're going to be using to get to actually Vanquisher. You're probably going to be using a Sword Flash, you probably have a Queen, you'll have a Drake as well, a Rogan. You may not have the carry and the Amon-Ra, but what you see on screen here is what we're going to be using, and it's going to be the Sword Flash core with the Queen support with the Rogan and the Drake as well, but you're going to be using carry and Amon-Ra to buy yourself enough time to control the enemy, and then just translate that to win old-fashioned Sword Flash, defense down, impeccable actives, AoEs, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Let's do the hero builds first before we go. We are going to be using Queen with a with speed with a Demon Bell to feed energy, Sword Flash, full gear. You can probably run a full gear, holy damage, attack, Punisher. I just have a standard build now for Realms Gate, so I'm not really worried too much about min-maxing to clear particular Vortex content. But if you're having trouble with the planet that we're going to be facing, certainly tune your Sword Flash so she's more min-maxed. I have it at 2-2 with mark removal because we are going to be facing double Amon-Ras, and 2-2 as well. The imprints, pretty straightforward, 3 across the bottom. That's going to be your crit rate, crit damage, and holy damage. You can always adjust this middle one to go precision. That does give you a lot of damage in round 1, but as you'll see in the fight, that's not too important when you're trying to kill this planet. You're kind of just trying to stay alive as long as possible and let Sword Flash kind of finish off the fight. So hopefully we will be able to showcase that. Next, we have Drake. Demon Bell, he's got the speed. Just make sure he's faster than the rest of your team, or the teams that he's trying, the rest of your team that is going to try to get the energy feed. Carry, I just have a fearless armor, keeping her alive as long as possible. If she does die, I don't think she has enough time to come back, but that's always a possibility. But keeping her tanky is usually a good idea. Just have her on tanky enables here. Then we have Amon-Ra, who's gonna have the crown. Again, just keep her tanky. If she can provide a extra layer of shields, that again just keeps the sustain going that much longer for your Sword Flash to finish the fight off. And of course, you have your Rogan with the Demon Bell. Now, do you need it to be 2 Splends and a Glitter? Of course not. You can run 2 Radiance and a Glitter, so you only need 8 Demon Bells. I just have extras, so I've built 2 Splendids and a Glitter. You do need 8 Demon Bells to get Vanquisher, so that is like the prerequisite currently. So you would have 2 Radiance and 1 Glitter. That is the most efficient way to do it. Of course, you can use 2 Splendids. You just have to be aware that when you're using 2 Splendids, there's only 2 heroes that have Demon Bells, which means there is a small chance that the energy feed won't apply to all the heroes. So you won't be able to get maybe an active from your carry in round 1, or maybe no shields in round 1, or worst case scenario, your Sword Flash doesn't get fed energy. So just keep that in mind. It's just a little less consistent when you kind of combine your Demon Bells into 2 Splendids versus splitting them up into 3, which is going to be 2 Radiance and 1 Glitter. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's get into the actual planet. You will need to use the reroll guide to find the particular planet. I will leave the links for that in the description box below, so check that out. If you don't have that on hand, you will need to know which planets to reroll. So the way the devs design this is completely random. Every single time Vortex opens up, these colored planets mean nothing. What you have to do is you have to check each planet individually, cross-reference these enemies. So you put in carry, Ada, Belring, Garuda, and then it'll tell you what planet it's on. Side note, some planets do have the same lineup multiple times, so you might want to make sure that you're on the right planet. But once you kind of get used to that process of finding a planet, it'll get really easy, but it is a little cumbersome. Quality of life is kind of super low on this one, so I will provide a small tip for that for the people that haven't cleared any Vanquisher planets yet. You do have a little trick that you can use to make your life easier every single time it opens up, and that is this battle button here with this skip function here. Every single time you clear a certain planet, the game remembers you have cleared planet 4, for example. In this example, we are going to be using planet 4. This is planet 4. And how do you find this? Again, reference the reroll guide. Look for the individual heroes that you see in front of you, and then the spreadsheet will tell you what planet you're on. Once you clear a planet, the game registers, okay, I have completed this planet, and it'll give you access to the skip battle button. That is how you can tell which planet is the planet you are looking for. So in my account here, what I've done is I have not attacked any of the other planets. You see there's no skip battle button here. There is no skip battle here. There's no skip battle here, and of course there's gonna be no skip battle here. So every single time I open up Vortex, all I have to do is click around and hit battle until I find the planet with the skip battle button. So here, clearly here I've already used a bunch of my burners to find the actual planet, but you're not going to have that available to you unless you have the spreadsheet. So if you want to avoid doing this whole spreadsheet thing, again, there's going to be very few people that probably have access to this, the ability to be able to do this, but it is worth pointing out that you can use this neat little trick with the skip battle function to kind of identify the one planet you clear. Now, if you've cleared this planet and maybe another planet, another typical one people use is planet 3. There's a planet there with Valkyries, Heart Watchers, and Garudas. It's just a purely forest based planet. That one, you can also mark that one off because if you do have a Starwing Jara, you can contest against that planet. But most people are going to be pushing into Vanquisher using the standard team, which is the Rogan, the Drake, the Queen, and the Sword Flash. So this just builds on that team and it allows you access to clearing one Vanquisher 6 planet. Now you may be asking, why do I need to even do that? Like, I thought I got to Vanquisher, the game's done. No, it's not. You're going to need to actually clear one planet every single time. As you see here, your current title is Defier 1. So every single time every single time Vortex opens up, it gives you, for some really annoying reason, it gives you the checkpoint down here. Even though I'm sitting in Vanquisher 6, the actual reward I'm going to be getting is just at the very last stage of Defier 1, right? So I have to clear one planet in Vanquisher 6 twice a week because Vortex opens up twice a week. Every single time it opens, I got to clear a planet. So that's what we're here to do and showcase this team, hopefully. And that way you can secure these 12,000 toolboxes. And if you watch any of my PvE series, links for that in the description and the card, there should be a card up here. If you haven't checked that out, I do mention how important these toolboxes are. So make sure you're grabbing them as much as possible. I wouldn't overextend into trying to clear this planet. It can cost like couple hundred gems, couple thousand gems to keep buying these stupid boosters to try to find and re-roll this actual planet 4, because even when you find the planet, you still have to re-roll using these boosters, and you only get about 60-65 every single time Vortex opens. So there are going to be times when Vortex opens where you cannot find this planet. I would highly suggest against doing that because it's just like a waste of gems. Sometimes you're just going to get unlucky, and that, I mean, you just gotta take that loss, right? But most times you will be able to find it like we did here. So we'll get into this battle here and hopefully be able to showcase what we're trying to do. So the general strategy here is going to be you're leaving 2 dodge heroes up front, and that's because Penny can crit, and if she doesn't crit, i.e. when these heroes dodge, there will be no AoE damage applied to your team, which is good. You just survive longer. You're going to be using Almond Rod to prevent more of that Penny AoE, as well as just other incoming damages, as well as Carry to remove actives from the enemy. The reason why you want to have Carry is twofold. She's going to be dodging in your front line, again, countering Penny, but at the same time, you're removing energy from the enemy, which means they're not doing actives. And the team, the enemies that we're fighting is going to be double Almond Ra. They have a really annoying passive that every single time one of Almond Ra's allies does an active, including herself, she'll do 3 passive attacks. So once there's 2 Almond Ra's on the battlefield and one of them does, or either anybody on the enemy side does an active, you're eating 6 basics. So that can usually just shred your team or immediately kill a unit. So you want to make sure that you are removing as many actives as possible, and that's the reason we're running Carry. So this is the team you want to be using. It's just going to take a couple attempts, maybe a dozen attempts, sometimes 20 even attempts even. You just have to wait for the RNG to line up. It typically might revolve around you CCing the Almond Ra like this and the DA, which buys you a lot of time, and then you typically need to not get CC'd, of course, your Sword Flash, but you need to be able to dodge maybe a little bit of the Penny aggro that you get early, and that way you have enough time to survive, and then you start picking off enemies. In this case, unfortunately, we got CC'd, so we are dead, although we really did well there with that double the double petrify from the Almond Ra is really, really strong. All right, let's try that again. Hopefully we don't get CC'd by the planet. Again, we are in Vanquisher, which means there's a 20% chance that bad things happen to us, even when we have protection, right? So you just have to keep that in mind. It will take some time, but this team can consistently clear this given maybe somewhere between 10 and 20 attempts. The RNG will line up. You do have to be careful. You want to be running mark removal because we're facing 2 Almond Ra's, and you just got to get lucky with the dodges and maybe a little bit of CC on either the Almond Ra or the DA because you are running your own Almond Ra, which means you will have access to, oh, that's not good. You will have access to actually CCing the front line once in a while. So the other thing that your team needs to accomplish is your Queen needs to stay alive long enough to actually hit the Penny. The Penny actually has reflective armor, and that will just one-shot your Sword Flash. So you need to make sure that your AoE heroes, and it's usually like your Carry or your Queen, can hit the Penny. Or even Carry there is great. It's randomly. So when your Sword Flash switches targets and goes to hit the Penny, or she has Impeccable and she has an active, you want to make sure that Penny doesn't have reflective armor because that'll instantly kill your Sword Flash, and then you have your damage dealer dead. Chance of clearing would be like next to 0. So if you watch enough of these fights, you'll see the patterns emerge. Almond Ra Curse can sometimes kill you. Penny can kill you like that. And those are just skips, right? Now, of course, if you just want pure quality of life, you got the skip button, you can just do that and, just keep smashing until you get it. But just so you guys can see essentially what you're trying to orchestrate with your team and the actual sequencing, hopefully we'll be able to showcase here that It does require a little bit of RNG, but it is definitely possible. So we did CC the Amon Ra. That's nice. Marking a bunch of heroes is also another thing that you kind of want to high roll at the beginning, because the more marks you get out, the less actives. That means there's less damage coming in from the Amon Ra passives. And the Sword Flash isn't strong enough when you get to Vanquisher 6 to really kill the Amon Ra that quickly. So you do need to kind of rely on Carry's ability to mark the enemies. So okay, that CC sucks. If you get your queen killed and your Sword Flash dies, it's technically just not gonna happen, right? Okay, that was another thing to notice is like sometimes there's load time, right? That load time was like a little longer than what you typically see. So we might be able to actually to high roll here, depending on how fast. That was some good dodges. We didn't get CC'd, so we're probably gonna be able to kill here. Okay, we didn't kill there. That's not good. We did mark one Amon Ra, so there's one less shield that's gonna go up here. This active is gonna suck a lot. The Penny active is gonna trigger the passives as well, which is really gonna suck. I don't know. That load time was nice, but we might actually just die here. Yeah, we're unbending and all that nonsense. We lost our Drake. That's definitely not good. We almost killed the Amon Ra there off the active, which is very nice. So we will be able to kill here. Our queen is still up. If someone can hit me, I can counterattack and kill the Amon Ra. Okay, the queen counters maybe? No, okay. Okay, I don't think there's a chance we can kill this here, because the Penny, we're gonna have no one outside of the carry that can revive here that'll be able to take these reflective armors off the Penny. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's possible here. It's possible if enough targets can hit, or we just suicide on the Penny. That's also a possibility. If we just suicide, okay. It looks like it's working out. It looks like it's working out. All right, we did it. All right, so you guys can see that some things do really have to line up in your favor, but it's possible, right? You're running the same team, something that's very similar to what you're running to get to Vanquisher 6. And again, you need to clear one planet. A lot of people have been asking me, what do you use? What planet should I attack? So hopefully with the spreadsheet down below, you guys can find the planet to reroll into. And if you're lucky enough and you haven't really found a planet to clear yet, you can find planet 4. Find this planet, clear this planet, and don't clear any other planets for quality of life. The difference between clearing one planet in Vanquisher 6 and pushing all the way to Vanquisher 1, the gap is so huge. You need like a 1,000,000+ attack on your Sword Flash. You need maybe 4 star spawns minimum at like 100, level 100+. You need gallery boosts. You need leveled up Cloud Island boosts. So there's a lot of things that have to come together for you to actually make your Sword Flash strong enough to keep progressing into Vanquisher 1. And honestly, my estimate is probably like 6 months to a year out for the majority of players. That's what I'm expecting from my account here. So manage your expectations. Don't think that you're going to be clearing this content anytime soon, which means you have to do this twice a week if you want to get a little bit of this toolbox income every single time. So now we'll take a look here and we'll see that we're now getting the placement reward for Vanquisher 6, right? So you're getting 12,000 of these and 150 hard rocks. Not that important, but the 12,000 is actually pretty damn important. So I would do it when it's free, meaning find the planet 4, right, out of the options, re-roll it, find the planet, attack it, and just do it free to play. Maybe you can spend a couple attempts. If you run out of attempts and you still find the planet, it's probably worth it to spend maybe, you know, some gems. But to find the planet and then attack it and spend gems, I wouldn't really suggest that. Before we end the video, I will give you a breakdown of what I'm running, just so you have a, you know, a reference of what my account is like here. So we're still at 100 here, 100 here, 130 on the Transcendent Pet, and everything else was 20, except for this. I think I upgraded for the Sea Land Abyss. When I was pushing that, I just wanted that block chance. But essentially, yeah, just a bunch of level 100s, and we got a little bit of pay to win action here with the 130 here. We take a look at my boosts. I'm still rocking the 14 legendary skins, so that boost there. We have 6 pay to win artifacts built out to Splendid, as well as 9 of these Transcendent gears for that boost there. And I am not running Sword Flash as a homeowner. And if you notice there, I'm running a V3 Queen. So it's a fairly quote-unquote budget build, right? You're probably going to need more than that just to get to Vanquisher 6. So you can kind of taper off your Queen if you need to, if you need access to those Stellars. I've been running this experiment with Eloise. So the last video we posted, I ran her through Tower of Dreams. I'm going to be doing that later this week, pushing her into Depth 2 and seeing how easy or hard or annoying it is. Most likely, I might just end up going into a more quality of life. I'm really putting a lot of stock into quality of life lately, so I want to do like the bare minimum but still get the maximum amount of wards. My own version of min-maxing, but I am experimenting with a homeowner Eloise, so I don't have the Sword Flash here, so no boost coming there. It's just going to be the Celestial Island boost that you see here, and yeah, the builds that I showcased earlier. So hopefully you guys found this information useful. If you guys any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for checking out the video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.